Hello, hello. Hi, Janine.
Hi, hi everyone out there. Welcome to the Art Gallery of Ontario in downtown Toronto. And we're really excited to continue our series of summer pop workshops. My name is Janine Lindgren. I'm an artist and educator here at the gallery. And my colleague and I have come up with some wonderful projects for you to do today. Olia, would you like to say some words?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Janine. I'm so excited about today. My name is Olia. I'm an art educator here at the AGO. Art Gallery of Ontario is on the land that is on Michi-Sagi Niswabe territory, Mississauga. It's also governed by a treaty between the Mississauga of the Credit and the Canadian government. Toronto is Michi-Sagi Niswabe territory, and it is occupied by other Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat confederacies. And here at the AGO, we look to the Indigenous leaders who help us understand how to be responsible about making and creating on this land on which we stand. Today, we have lots of really fun activities here at the AGO for you. It's part of Summer Pop Week 1 volume, and it's very much about lots of fun food. Janine is going to show us some really, really fun techniques to start us up on the activity for today.
Okay, but first of all, I'm really curious to know where all you little artists are joining us from. So we're going to have the chat open for the first 15 minutes of the program. And you can answer in that, and we'd love to know where you are. And also at the end of the program for 15 minutes, we're going to open up the chat again, and you get a chance to tell us what you've made or what inspired you today. So we'd love to hear from you.
Where are you from? All right. So what are you doing today, Janine?
Okay, so today I'm going to begin by showing you some very simple tricks to make pop-ups. So what we're essentially doing is taking flat pieces of paper and making them fold and then pop up into 3 dimensions. And we're going to be inspired by food, because pop artists, as you know, we've talked about this week with the giant hamburger, we're inspired by fast foods. So yes, there's a slide by Klaus Oldenburg. This is actually a sculpture. It's not his dessert. You can't eat it. It's made of art materials like plaster and paint. So because this was a very popular dessert at his time, people were going to soda fountains and ordering ice cream. He decided to commemorate that in a sculpture, and it's actually in a gallery, if you can believe it. So
that's so cool. So Janine, tell us what kind of materials will we need today?
okay, now I hope everybody has on hand perhaps some colored markers, or you can have colored pencil crayons or crayons if you like, anything for color. Some colored paper, perhaps construction paper, different colors to cut out to make our fruits and strawberries and everything else. Scissors we need to cut the paper, pencils, an eraser in case you make a mistake, but you probably won't, a ruler, tape, could be clear tape, masking tape, a glue stick, or you can use white glue if you have that. And ordinary 8.5 by 11 printing paper is fine too. We're going to be using this. And then if you have any stiffer paper, like a cardstock, this is 8.5 by 11, but it's a little heavier. So it allows the pop-ups to work a little better. And if you have on hand any cereal boxes, because this cardboard is great to provide support if you have the thin paper. Okay, I think that I covered it all. So it's just
you're saying that we'll need paper that is normal paper, like a printer paper, and the really strong paper too. Same size.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
and colored paper, do we need that?
It's optional.
But I think it'll be really fun to have, right?
Yeah, if you have colored paper, it'd be great to cut out different shapes and objects to add to our cake later.
Would scraps of paper work?
Oh yeah, any scraps of paper, anything from recycling, you can cut out colored bits that you can
Awesome.
use.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to tell you where people are joining from as you kind of setting up your demo. So we have people from Brampton, people from Alberta are joining us, from London, from Oakville, from Zimbabwe. We have people from Barrie, Peterborough, Scarborough, Georgian Bay, Mississauga, North York, more people from Kitchener, people from Richmond Hill, Toronto, Pickering, Ottawa, Kitchener, Brampton, Markham, more people from Ottawa, and this is so exciting. So the other question we had for the chat was what?
We want to know, if you were making a dessert, what flavors would you include? What are your favorite flavors? What are your favorite ingredients? What colors would you use? So I want you to start thinking about that.
And
So
you can type in the chat and think about flavors, but also the colors of those flavors. We've seen the Klaus Oldenburg sculpture, and it was of a milkshake, and it was white and a little bit pink, and I wonder what flavor that was.
And I think he had whipped cream on top.
Yeah, but I think the main flavor of the dessert was strawberry, but maybe raspberry, because it was kind of pink mixed in with the cream.
What's your favorite flavor, Olia?
My favorite flavor is pandan. It's
What's
a weird
that?
flavor, but I like it.
What's pandan?
It's a plant that's actually kind of a grassy plant, I think. But from it, desserts are made and they're green, which I like. I like desserts, they're unusual. So people are saying cookies and cream. Alexis is saying strawberry. Some people are saying milk chocolate. People are saying yellow mango and strawberry together.
Wow.
People
good
are saying
combo.
chocolate and raspberry together. People are saying chocolate, vanilla, pistachio, caramel. And some people are saying that they don't have a glue stick, which is totally fine, because instead of glue stick, I think you can use a little bit of tape or just any other glue. And some of the things we'll make don't need much glue stick, because you can also use your scissors to cut and then your markers to draw.
Yeah.
All right, people are saying velvet.
Ooh, red
Flavor.
velvet.
And I wonder what color of velvet too. Some people are saying Korean melon, which is a flavor I also love. Some people are saying green tea. Some people are saying matcha, which is that too.
Oh yeah, I love
Some people
that.
are saying taro, which is beautiful purple. Some people are saying safa, peanut butter and chocolate together.
Wow, that's a great combo.
Yeah.
I like strawberry rhubarb. That's a good combo.
And there's a person who's saying cherry on top.
Okay, so keep that in mind when you create your sculpture. You can put a
Okay,
cherry
and
on top.
Oreo is another flavor, which is black and white and with lots of speckles. All right, so are we ready to start picking up some cards?
I'm going to show you first the most very simple pop-up that you can ever make. Here's one that I have. So it's very simple. It's just one piece of paper. And when I open it, it's like a box.
It is.
Yeah, so to do that, take your 8.5 by 11 paper, or any size paper actually that you have. It could be colored construction paper. It could just be regular bond paper. It could be card. It could even be a piece of a cereal box. So fold it in half. Now, I want to cut in. So you have to decide how tall you want your box to be. I think I want to have a very tall box right at the middle. So about up to here. So all you do is with your scissors, cut a straight line in. Stop wherever you want. I'm just doing like 1.5 inches. And then fold up this part parallel. Okay, everyone got that? Then you can turn it over and fold it the other way. Then you open it up and then you do what's called a reverse fold. You pinch this out so it comes this way.
Yeah, you turn your folds inside out. And I guess the main trick here is that at first the paper is folded and then you create a cut away from the folded part, not from the open part. But that's the thing, experiment, you'll see.
And sometimes it helps to burnish down your fold with your fingernail or something, just to make the crease a little stronger.
You know what I use when I have it around is a popsicle stick.
Oh yeah.
But if I don't have a popsicle stick, I might just use my pencil, just because I can press with it. It's harder than my finger.
So I hope you've all got to that point. Now I'm going to make an extension on this. I want to make a selection of boxes on this one page because I'm thinking for this page, I want to have the boxes of ingredients for the cake I'm going to make.
We're making a cake?
I'm going to make a recipe for my favorite cake. Nice. So how can I make a second box from this? Okay, I'll tell you. Cut another line in just half of this. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and I want it to be a short box beside the big tall box. And I'm going to cut in again and repeat my actions. Fold again, open it up and do my reverse fold. So now I have two boxes side by side. Okay, is everyone following along? Now, if I want to add a third box, I can do it on this fold here. Maybe I'll do a box in between these two heights. I've got a short box, a tall box. I'm going to do a tall, thin box, and I'm just going to cut in about halfway. Just going to be a little tall, thin box for a tall, thin bottle of something. And then do my reverse fold, push it out again. And there. Now, when I open my card, I've got 3 boxes.
Janine, people are asking if you can show how to make just this simple box again. Once you finish this multi-box, which is amazing, people need to go back and see how a simple box gets made. So can you repeat that stage?
Okay. Okay, I'll take another piece of paper. Okay, so this is my 3 box. Everyone see that? Got 3 heights. I'll set that aside and I'll do it again. So take your paper, fold it in half, make a nice crease with your finger. And then it's up to you how tall you want your box in the middle. I'm going to make it almost as tall as my paper because later on I'm going to be coloring it and I want lots of space to color. So just cut in a straight line parallel to the edges. Okay, don't go too far. I would say maximum maybe halfway into the paper. I'm going to go a little further to make a bigger box. And then fold this up as straight as you can. Turn it over, crease it this way. Then open your page and pull out the box. So the box is sticking out and the page is sticking back.
And where the cut is, the folds start going a different way.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just reinforce that by pressing down. So there you go. You have a big box sticking out of your card.
Janine, you know what I thought would be so cool to do when you have something like this?
Yeah.
You can do many boxes if you figure it out. And if you're quick at this, and you can do like all boxes of ingredients, but you can also do a refrigerator full of ingredients you're gonna use.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I have another one here that I made, and this one, see what happens though, sometimes it's hard for it to stand up because you've removed a lot of the back. So what I did with one, I took a cereal box and I glued it on the back. But be careful when you put your glue that you only put it on this surface. Don't put it on your boxes.
Nice.
So I'll show you one that I started. This is called my cake creation recipe book. So I've got this is my cake mix box. It's called Super Mix. 50% sugar, just add water. You can also have fun with ingredients on this. You can put barcodes or have funny labels. This is my extra special extract, flavor with a punch, pow, and it's got a little fist, and magic baking powder, makes your cakes rise. So I have to color this in still. I just did this with pencil, but maybe later when Olia's showing you her wonderful cake she made, I'll color this in and show you again at the end. How's everyone doing? Any questions coming in, Olia?
I think we have chat closed until the end of the day, but I think what we can do is we can consider, like, do we want to draw on these boxes? Just pictures? Do we want to write? Do we want to create boxes of different ingredients? So it's almost, and it also looks like a card. So when it's closed, it's all flat and you open it and it's full of ingredients, whether it's a refrigerator full of things that you have, or maybe a cupboard, or maybe a box that has all the ingredients inside it already if you just have one box. But if you have many, like Janine, there will be lots of different stuff. Oh, that is a fridge and shelves. That's so cool.
Yeah, you can put all your ingredients here.
That looks like ketchup.
My basket of strawberries ready to go in my cake.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
I like your fridge idea. That's fun.
Okay.
Okay, I have one more very simple card pop-up to show you. And I like this one. This one's really fun. It's the mouth. So it opens and closes. And there is an extension of that with eyes. But I'm going to show you just the mouth first. Okay, everyone ready? Same thing, piece of paper, fold it in half. These are very simple dynamics. Now, what I want you to do is measure. I want my mouth in the middle, so I'm going to measure it halfway. 8.5 long. What's half of 8.5? Who's good at math? 4 1/4, I think.
4 1/4.
Okay, so if I want my line to be straight, maybe I should put another tick there and then connect them. Okay, how big do I want my mouth? Well,
Janine, can you show it with a marker? Because it's really hard to see the pencil line. I know that everybody should draw it with a pencil because you might want to erase. But if you can draw it with marker, then we'll see really well.
Okay, so there's my halfway point. That's going to be the center of my mouth. Now I don't want to cut right to the end. How big do I want my mouth to be? And I don't want it to go, I want to leave about 1 inch at the top and 1 inch at the bottom. So maybe 3 inches. So if I measure 6 and then 3 inches in here, I'm going to go in 3 inches for my mouth. So you make one cut, that line, then 2 folds. You fold this up. And you'll notice that you want to make a square, like make this parallel. I'll draw a line and this parallel to this edge. Do you know what parallel means? It means when it lines up the same as this. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. So in a sense, I'm making like 2 squares. If you can imagine, these would be 2 squares. And then flip it over and fold it back this way. I want my crease to be nice and flexible.
The more you fold, the more easier it folds and unfolds.
Then this is the tricky part. Again, here's the old reverse fold trick. You want to open it, but you want to push these down, push this down.
Oh my God, it's a triangle popping the other way.
I know it is a little tricky. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm making this come in and then I'm folding. So this again is the outside, and now you can't see the folds because they're on the inside. But look, when I open it up, there they are.
Ooh.
So it is like a mouth, right?
Yep, like a bird's beak or a really pointy mouth. It's really cute.
This one has eyes and it almost looks like a frog.
It does.
I'm going to show you a fun one I made, inspired by food. This is, can you tell what this is?
It's a cupcake.
Yeah, some sort of cupcake or donut. And then since we were talking about scale yesterday, I got inspired to make a little miniature one as well. So this donut can eat the little donut. So you can have fun coming up with different ideas for that mouth pop-up. Okay.
So pop-ups could be cards, but they could also be books. So you could make many pages. So today we're going to show you how to make a few awesome books. What Janine showed is just like first practice. And we'll show you kind of a few ways to make a pop-up card of a cake and a pop-up card of a can. So to make a can, Janine will show us how to do can labels. But first, let's take a look at two books that I really love by pop artists who were inspired by cakes and cans. In fact, the artist is Andy Warhol, and I'm going to share with you a couple of different books that he made. He made lots of illustrated books even before he became a famous artist. And one of the books that we will get inspired today for our cake is a book called Wild Raspberries that Andy Warhol made with his friend, Susie Frankfurt. They created lots of whimsical recipes for cakes, listing the ingredients. So this one would have apricot halves in it and cherries. They created recipes not for cakes too, like for this omelet that looks like this. Andy Warhol also made a book about his studio and all the people that worked with him. And this book was called Andy Warhol's Index. It was published in many copies to give to friends and was chock full of really fun pop-out pieces, like this tomato paste popping out from a book from a page of photographs of his friend, whose name was International Velvet. So in this book, there were pages, there were records in this book, there were balloons, but there were also pop-out pages. So today we're going to work on a few things like this. We're going to make a pop-up card of a really incredible cake, but we also are going to make a pop-up can of ingredients. It could be a can of soup, could be a can of other stuff. So as we kind of prepare soon, what you want to do is do a little bit of soup can design and creating ideas.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get started. We're using a soup can as a template, but it's okay if you don't have one. Soup cans are 4 inches tall. So what I'd like you to do is just take your regular bond paper, or if you have colored paper, you can use that. And we're going to design a label. So Olia did one called Candy Fish Dessert Soup. Who ever heard of a dessert soup?
I do. I eat dessert soups all the time.
And this is one that Olia made, Pandan Coconut Jelly. Expiry 2035. Wow, that's a long-lasting soup.
It's a jelly, but yeah, cans last a long time, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to use markers so you can see. I hope everyone can see what I'm doing here. So from the bottom of your paper, mark 4 inches on one end, 4 inches on the other. Connect it.
So from the shorter side, right?
Yeah, from the shortest side. Because we figure when that wraps around the can, that's the right length.
Yeah.
Then cut it. Okay, so now I've got a blank label. So now it's up to you to create a crazy can of something. See, this will fit around here, and later we can tape it. Let's see, what should I create? Maybe I'm going to make a crazy coconut cake. Have you ever heard of a cake in a can?
This is the first time I hear about cake in a can, but there's lots of desserts in a can, like puddings. Definitely had canned pudding many times in my life. And the jelly I like comes in a can.
100% delicious. And you can have funny little labels.
It's fun to draw labels. Sometimes I find it tiresome to spell, and I would just want to communicate in pictures, and that's allowed too, of course.
Yeah, so have fun designing it any way you want. You could draw vegetables, fruits on it, whatever you like. And it's going to fit around a can. You can tape it if you have tape, or you can use a glue stick. So once you design this, Olia is going to show you how to construct it so the can will pop out of a book. So you need to design a cylinder.
And you can put any kind of label. It could be circles and stripes and pictures. You can write words around the circle or in a straight line, whatever you like. And I'm going to show you a really cool trick, how to take this and make it go flat and then popped out again. Ooh, apple. So nice.
Secret ingredients.
It says coconut cake, but it also might have an apple.
Yeah, so you can have fun with the ingredients. It's going to have coconut, flour, sugar, lots of sugar, and it's going to have apple. So have fun making up the ingredients, the expiry date, 100% energy for the day, all your nutrition facts, anything you want. Just have a look at a label and see all the things that are on it, where it comes from.
Yeah.
Make up a crazy name.
Made in Toronto, this one.
So as you're working on that, Olia is going to come over soon and show you how to make a beautiful cake. Olia, should I show your cake sample now?
Yeah, let's see the cake. So I kind of came up with an idea for how to make a cake and make a card, the recipe card that all pops out.
Recipe for a cake. Wow. Oh my gosh.
This is a really fun cake. It's called summer cake because I was thinking of all the summer fruits that I wanted to put in it. And there's lemon slices at the bottom of the platter. And then the cake has many layers, including mango mousse and mango pieces has strawberries, sprinkles, more mango mousse, and it has a cherry on top. You can even flip it down a bit, Janine. And depending on how you position it, it can kind of like start moving around. The cherries move around on top when you close the thing. Yeah.
That's great.
And then I just added extra stuff on the table, and I wrote down the ingredients so people can read and get inspired to make this summer cake. And I was also thinking of sending it to my friend who I usually like cooking with, but haven't been doing it in a while, to cheer her up.
That's beautiful.
So we are going to switch places, and Janine is going to help with the chat and questions at the end, but I'm going to come to the studio and show you how I made that cake. And if you have time, I'll show you a really cool can construction as well. I'm going to try to include ingredients that you suggested, and Janine will help me figure what those are. I remember cherry on top, but it's funny because there's already a cherry on top, so I satisfied someone's craving. All right, so I am going.
Just clean this up a bit and make it ready for you, Olia.
I'm coming over soon. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make the cake like that opens and closes and has a lot of fun ingredients.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
All right, so it's a lot like what Janine did, which is kind of thinking about the cake from kind of the center of the card. That's where it folds out from. So again, you need to fold a piece of paper. This piece of paper, I want to be a little bit stronger. So just in case, I'll do that. It could be white paper, or it could be colored. I'm going to maybe make this cake mango colored. Maybe, so you look through your paper and choose a color, because the color that you have of the first card you cut, mine here was pink, and I made pink layers to draw on. I liked light color because then the marker really stands out on it, so I could draw on top. So I would suggest some light color. It could be white, of course, but it could also be a colorful cake just in white. So the first part I'll do for practice, just to show you and have you practice how to make the cake layers. So like Janine did, I'm going to take a sheet of paper and fold it in half. The best way to fold it in half is to try to find a corner and have the corners meet with one another. So I'm kind of hovering my paper and I'm trying to make sure that the corners are connected, and then I press here. I do the same thing here, corner to corner, and then I press here. So now anything that will help you make that crease, because I'm using a stronger paper this time, is to make, it's just a card. But now I'm kind of ready to draw half of my cake. So I'm going to draw a line here at the bottom, a long line, and it's kind of, so I'm drawing away from the folded part. That's what makes the pop-up pop. So I drew a straight line, and then I'm going to draw a line like it, but a little bit curved. And I'm kind of taking, it's almost like I drew half of one layer of the cake. Like if my cake was like this, it starts in the center, I drew just one half. You could actually draw the whole cake. So I'm actually gonna draw that. Gonna draw a couple of layers, but cut them one by one. So this is gonna be a 3-layer cake. Hopefully you can see my drawing, and if you can't, I'm going to reinforce it with a marker. But I'm only going to draw the lines that I think I need to cut. So not this one, which I'm going to try to erase. So my cake, to make it pop out, I need to keep it connected here. And I'm gonna do a dotted line because that's where I'll need to fold. So I'm gonna do that on other sides and then keep it connected. So I basically kind of created almost like 3 bigger and bigger hamburger buns, but not all of them will I cut. So you can watch me cut first and then try on your own. So I'm going to fold my card. The this way, and I'm going to cut through 2 layers using the thick black lines and stop when it turns to a dash line. So I'm gonna cut the bottom layer first. So it's a lot like Janine did.
The dotted lines are where you don't cut?
Yeah, this is where I'm gonna need to fold.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna fold there. Where the dotted lines are, that's where I fold. Okay, so when I open my card, it's a lot like what we've seen, this is ready to come out. So I'm gonna take it in the middle and make sure that I squish this to me. It was pointing away from me, but now it's to me. And then in the corners there, I'm gonna kind of use my finger, and first layer is done. So this is gonna be first layer of the cake. And like in this one, I can kind of design, so this is the first layer of this cake. I put extra stuff, drawings and cutouts to show mango chunks and mango mousse and actually a secret layer. So this is how we'll do it. So I have my first one. I might kind of put it back and go back and cut out the other 2. Very nervous to cut it wrong. Don't want to make
Good thing you put those dots to remind you to stop cutting.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, you have to remember to stop, Olia, stop.
Sometimes like making constructions is like following a recipe. And sometimes you need reminders. You need to remember when you're making, I made a cake where I made a mistake. And it turned out soggy. I'm a good cook, but sometimes, especially with cakes, you kind of want to follow the recipe, but then you have a lot of freedom in decorating. Okay, so I kind of popped out all my layers the other way like this. So this is a 3-layer cake. So depending on how you design your main one, so this one is 3 layers, but there's also a plate. So I'm gonna work on that for a sec. Leave this here. Actually, I'll leave it like this so you remember what I did and how I cut it. Can you see it there? Yeah. So while it's there, I'm gonna work on my cake is gonna be yellow.
Is it going to be lemon?
It could be lemon. I was thinking, yeah, I think lemon cake would be nice. How about other flavors in the chat? What should we add?
Mango. I like your idea of mango. It's very seasonal.
Okay.
Banana is yellow.
Banana would be nice. I might do bananas. This is banana flavored cake. What else goes with banana is maybe chocolate is nice. So I did the 3 layers. I might even do the top layer really tiny. And these would be like, for now, I'm just coloring them with pencil. Like these would be the layers of my cake, just to show you. And you can cut them layer by layer to see what's happening. And I kind of also want like a beautiful cake plate. So I'll do the same thing, but the other way around, because I'm showing you how I made that part too. So these would be where I don't cut, but fold. All right. So you work on yours. The idea is you just want this shape, which is straight and then maybe it's curved or maybe it's just flat. I liked curving them because it allowed me to have that kind of, almost looks like it's like a mountain of good stuff. And then this one points up, so I can put things at the bottom of the cake. I can put candy. And so then the tricky part of cutting them out and stopping. So it's still like the piece of paper, I don't cut anything out of it. It all still stays together, but then there are the parts that can pop out the other way. So I'm gonna cut along my strong lines. Boom, boom, boom. And let's read up some ingredients that we want to include. There was peanut butter, there was
Banana.
chocolate, there's banana, there's lemon.
Mango.
So I think we'll see.
Pineapple.
I'm gonna open up my cake and decide what to do. I think I'll need other colors of paper, maybe little paper scraps. Look somewhere. Maybe I'll find the colors I want, or I might just take I don't have a brown scrap, so that's okay.
I will maybe use a piece of brown paper or brown bag for that, for the chocolate. But for now, it's all kind of, when you open it, they all want to stick together, but you can pop them out. So each layer, it's hard to see, but they're there. I'm gonna pull towards me and squish. So that's the top layer, just squished up on the top. So what you can do on the top, I think I'll just put a cherry on top again, or something else, maybe a piece of lemon. This would be another layer. So when you have a layer, you can decide to decorate it. So I'm going to actually, don't have brown paper, but have a brown marker. So I'm gonna do a chocolate layer in my banana cake.
Ooh, you could put chocolate chips on top.
If I have brown paper, but it might be pieces of mango that I put on top. Can't find brown paper. And I can even outline my drawing there to make this really stick out. And then this is a layer that pops up full of chocolate. So what if I wanted pieces of mango to add to it? I'm going to take a little bit of orange paper. And this one, they're kind of like diamonds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little bit, like a strip of paper, small size, just little paper sticks. And I'm going to cut it up into little pieces to be pieces of mango. Yummy. And with glue or glue stick, got glue stick, it's convenient for me, I'll do that. I can glue them all over this layer. Gonna put mango piece over here, and you can have them stick out. You can even have them kind of go in the other side. All right, so on top, I'll think of what to do. I can switch to another layer. This layer is going to have mango mousse. And it's going to have mango mousse like this, maybe wavy line, but maybe
Mango
also
mousse?
mango mousse
Whoa.
in the banana flavored cake. And I might even get a small piece of orange paper and cut it into kind of like top of clouds shape. Kind of looks like this. I can draw it first, or I can just freestyle it. And this part, I might kind of glue it like right in there behind, so it sticks up like a mango mousse on top.
So every layer is going to be very different.
Why not?
That's a really beautiful cake.
It's not yet, but it's starting to be yummy. So what should this layer be?
Okay, what do we have again? What's the top one?
The top is chocolate with mango chunks. The middle is just mango mousse. And I probably could use, like I could cut out little cherries and put them there. Or I can just draw something. So you might not have enough colored paper, or be wondering what you should do. And you can actually decorate it by drawing right on top of it. So I'm just gonna draw like whatever little dots for cherries. You can draw cookies. Could have a whole layer of cookies. And I feel like the cherries have stems. So I want to have like scrap paper that already has drawings on it. I don't care. I just need a little bit of cherry stem to add. So you could add cherry stems to your cherries by gluing them right there. They're too big. So this is like a higher levels, top layers of the cake. They're smaller because they're on top. So they might be not as easy to make tiny things for. So you draw whatever you like, but I'm really determined that these cherries are going to happen. So I'm going to glue pieces of paper like this so that even the cherry stems are sticking out from the cake. But I feel like the cherry stem and the cherry are different size. So I'm gonna actually add bigger cherry. Yeah, like that. Cherry cake. Definitely have more mango pieces to put there, but I have them prepared. Sometimes I make like little areas of prepared ingredients to decorate the cake with. Look at this piece. It kind of ended up here, but I might decorate my cake with it before I pop it out. So I might add all these pieces there. I might decorate my plate as well. So I might even make a banana, extra banana, and I might decorate my plate first. So this is going to be a plate. So sometimes if I have a smaller piece of paper that I can kind of stick in there, it makes it easier for me to see how to decorate just this layer, just this plate. So I might kind of do kind of tulips on it. Kind of going each other way. In the Andy Warhol drawing of a cake, he had like a really beautiful stand for it. And I'm not making a stand, but I'm making like a cute plate. And I might add kind of a blue color or something like that to kind of make it more cold and different from the color of the cake. So we know that this is a plate. So I'm kind of coloring the edges, and I colored
So you know it's maybe a silver plate.
maybe, yeah, with the kind of design.
I've been working on mine as you've been working on yours, and I just made a silver plate under mine.
Oh, amazing.
Fancy platter.
Yeah, I made a platter, and I feel like when I pop it out, like in this card, it would be kind of cool to put lemons in there or some other piece of fruit. And I'm going to show you a trick of how to cut. So I just have some construction paper in yellow, and you can first draw, this is kind of lemon orange slices, maybe it's a hybrid. You can just first draw them and then cut them out. Or, so this will be one. Trying to kind of put it in the corner of a paper so I still have lots of paper left that hasn't been cut. That's a good practice. But now I got this slice of lemon or orange, and I'm going to put it, kind of stick it to the platter. So when it pops up, it's gonna be, let's glue it. It's gonna be in the plate. So I want to glue it actually at the top and then stick it into the platter, and I can make different ones kind of pop out on different angles. And then there's still one layer I still really need to decorate. Might be just sprinkles layer. Okay, so I can cut out and cut out more lemon pieces, but I'm going to show you a cool trick I use. If I'm working with just like thin paper, construction paper that's easy to cut, which is not so good for the structure, but is really good for decoration. I'm going to take, kind of cut out the strip. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to fold it into accordion for as many accordion pieces as I get, but they're really kind of the size of one of my slices that I want. Something like this. And I can fold it a bunch of times. This is a trick that saves me time sometimes, and it's good to know, so I thought I'll share. So I just fold it in accordion, and so there's kind of lots of paper behind this paper, and I can cut it all at once. So this takes practice, but it's a really good trick to practice and figure out. So still holding it together and cutting it, and boom, I actually got 6 slices to use. That's really cool. And sometimes even this part is really cool. If it was a contrasting paper, like kind of cool decoration I can add to my cake. So I can keep working on this and create lots of these, adding drawing to cutouts and then gluing them, making it more and more 3D. So that's my lemon slices. I might want to make bigger cherry on top or smaller cherry on top and all kinds of stuff. So for now, I'll just do some drawing to finish this quickly. This one, I'm just gonna do what kind of mousse is this?
chocolate, mocha,
Caramel.
caramel. Also, what people could keep in mind maybe is what occasion the cake might be for.
Oh
You know,
yeah, graduation.
if it's a birthday cake, you could add candles. If it's a wedding cake, you could put people on top. You could put cake toppers, graduation.
Gonna have a hat on top, I guess. So you can basically do this now, or you can decorate the cake throughout today or the week. What you can do is you can cut out fun ingredients. So it could be pieces of candy, pieces of chocolate, lemons, mango, cherries, whatever you like. So you can draw them first and cut them out. You can cut them from colored paper and draw on them later. Like I did strawberries first. Just drew the strawberries, drew on them the dots, and then also glued to them the little piece of green. And then I glued them to my cake. So all of that is super possible to do, and you can kind of do it layer by layer. So this is gonna create a most beautiful cake. But I'll show you a few other tricks of what you can do to make this into a card that hides the cake and makes it stronger. So right now, a lot of my layers are actually sticking out of my card. So there's few things I do. You also can see through my card, which is not so perfect because I feel like the cake looks empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see, what if I put another piece of paper in the back? All of a sudden, the inside of the cake is kind of more mango colored. And I really, really do like that. So I'm going to actually attach it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this paper in half and then have an ability to glue it there in the back. And I think the glue basically will have to go in this corner and along this line, and in this corner and along this line between my layers. So I can even right now kind of draw for you where I want my glue to be. Kind of want my glue to be right there. So then when I put my cake, it will hold it, but the parts of the cake that need to pop out would still pop out. So I'm not putting any glue in this area.
Wow. That's
Okay.
really smart, Olia, to think about drawing the glue area. So you don't
Yeah,
make a mistake.
this is where the glue would go.
Yeah, it's like a guide, right?
Yep. So I'm gonna cover those areas in glue. And make sure I go all the way to the bottom. I think that's enough. And now I'm going to make sure that I glue my cake to the same corner so that my corners meet up. So it's got glue on it, so I don't want to glue it in the wrong spot. So I'm just gonna kind of prepare it before I aim it. So this is going to be already much more cake-like cake, but I feel like when I close it, my cake is still sticking out. So, and in this card, you can see there's actually just kind of, it says recipe for a cake. You open it, there's a cake, and there's actually room to write notes and instructions. And then at the end, there's nothing, but I can have my name and date or something like that. If it's a card, it could be a message too, right? So to have that room, I'm going to now fold my card and just add 2 pieces of paper, but without folding them. So it could be, you know, a piece of paper like this that I attach with either glue or tape right there. So it has to be, the glue has to be here, 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 here. And because I want to glue it really well, I'm gonna put glue, I'm gonna use a darker marker so you can see. I'm gonna put a glue kind of around here. Or I could have used tape, and then I would have just taped from here, and then on the other side, tape right there. But let's do the glue. Basically, my aim is to create almost like a wrapper for the card that hides the inside of the card. So the outside is it's just a white sheet, in fact. And I glued it so that now it covers up the cake pieces. I'm gonna do the same on the other side.
And that's another area to decorate or label, right? Like a book cover.
Yeah, so I'm making kind of like a book cover too. Could be a different color. I just have white, so I'll use white. But what I want is to someone getting this card not knowing that there is a cake inside. That's why I'm kind of extending and covering it up to create myself more room for writing and decorating and drawing other things, but also to make sure, that my card is bigger, has more room, and fully hides my cake. You don't know there's a cake in here.
Oh, that's great.
But truly there is. And I have room for messages. So all of this you can work on, and you can create these kind of cake cards for many people that you love. Usually you can make a cake in real life, or you can make a cake from paper that you can fold into a skinny envelope and send in the mail, which you can't really easily do with a real cake. So you can also kind of create a book of pages of different cake recipes if you were so inclined. You would just have to attach many cards like this together.
Wow, that would be a great idea.
Would also suggest, like, if you have lots of good ingredients, but you haven't used them for this cake, collect them, put them in the envelope. Actually, I had pineapple slices in there, but forgot I had them. And you can use it for some later cake. All right, so probably all of you, I didn't finish decorating yet. It takes a long time to glue on all the pieces of mango and draw everything that I want my cake to have. But that's okay. I will finish my cake making it later today. And I'll take a photo and I'll post it hopefully by tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
So that's how
Thank
you make
Julia.
a cake.
Now, the chat, oh yeah,
Yes.
that was so beautiful. That was amazing. So the chat is back on now.
Yeah.
So we'll see if anyone has any questions to date. If anyone has any questions for us, feel free to type it in chat. And meanwhile, I think Olya is going to show us how to do the can.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna show you how to do a pop-up can, and I'm gonna demonstrate one of them, how it works. It's tricky, but it's fun. So.
Oh, Lucy liked your explanations and your demonstrations.
Amazing. So hopefully that will help people like Lucy make as many cakes with as many flavors as you like, and will give you both freedom to pop up and decorate however you like, but also shows you the recipe for the structure.
And Jana said it looks amazing. You're getting great feedback, Olya.
This cake is amazing. And I think the cakes everybody is making are gonna be amazing. Okay, so I'm excited to show you how to do a really cool thing. I have a can, so you can see it right there. And I'm gonna use it as a template, but I also will measure and tell you how many inches things are, so that you can make a card with a really cool mechanism that allows you to pop out a 3D can.
That's cool.
So this is
So actually,
pickles.
Somebody asked how to make a milkshake. So Kelly, you could actually turn this can into a milkshake if you wanted.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll show that. So there's few ways. Maybe I'll show a quick milkshake idea. So for milkshake, I might take my big paper and fold it out. It's tall. So I'm gonna make a card that's actually tall. And it's in a way kind of a trick to think about. So I'm gonna do the kind of the glass like this. This is just kind of thinking in terms of geometry. This is gonna be a lot of whipped cream. I'll do this really quick. And maybe if you don't get to the card, that's okay. I'll show you the secret in it.
So as you're doing that, I don't know if people can see this, but I'm continuing to add to my ingredient boxes. My cake mix, my special extract, and my magic baking powder that makes the cakes rise.
In some ways you can see how I kind of drew like half of the milkshake on my paper, and now I'm going to, in orange, show you where I want to cut it, but I still want it to connect. So I'm going to,
Oh, Simone says she loves it and she's gonna make, this will be a perfect gift for her cousin's birthday.
amazing.
Yeah, good idea. Boy, I tell you, if somebody made me something like that, I would treasure it forever. I display it in a place of honor.
And the cool thing is that you can fold it up and it doesn't take much room when you don't want to display it. Okay, yeah. A pop-up card like this can cheer lots of people up. So right now, I took all the pieces that I think are part of the glass and make them into the shapes that can pop out. So it's a bit more complicated, but you can always experiment. You can make it and you can say, oh, I want this pop-out shape to be a different shape. Next card you make, you can practice that. So it just depends. So I created a glass and the milkshake topping almost flowing out. And I can even add a straw and decorate it like this with, you know, bubbles.
That's so cool. So you can
And a
make,
straw right there. And
once
maybe
you
a
get good
glass
at
will
this-
have like really beautiful kind of glass texture.
so once you get good at this, you can try different shapes.
Yeah, so this is just like an orange milkshake, but you can do different shapes. I think the cake is so fun because you have layers and each layer could be different and you can attach many things. Milkshake is great, but it doesn't give you that much freedom for things other than shapes and colors, but no, maybe toppings would be fun.
Can you show the cake again? The people want to see it.
Absolutely. So, I'm gonna show you my can though, because it's also
Yeah, we
so
still
cool.
have to get to the can. Oh, Alina's doing a rainbow cake.
Oh my God.
Cherry,
here's my
orange,
summer
lemon,
cake.
apple, fruit punch, blueberries, and blackberries. Oh my God, Alina, that sounds amazing.
Remember, I was gonna add bananas, so I think there would be like one layer that has banana slices, but that's the cakes. That's the two.
Amazing.
Hopefully you can see.
Oh yeah, no, they look great.
Okay, so with the can, we might not get to make it because it's actually quite tricky, but what I'd be able to show you is the secret life inside this pop-up can. Paper is an amazing thing, and you can, with paper, make mechanics. So I'm gonna find the thing I made. So
Yeah, we
this,
have about 10 minutes left, so.
yeah, I don't think I can explain fully how to make this in 10 minutes, but I can show you what I did. So in this card, I had a card that just folded in half. And I have here almost like a little bridge with a circle on top that when I fold it, opens up. And this trick lets you take the can that you've created, and I'm hoping you people design like lots of really cool can labels. This is the coconut pandan jelly label, already put into a sphere, and I will put it on this mechanism, fold it, and open it. So I'm gonna go for the next 10 minutes and show you what I did. But basically I wanted some kind of mechanism that will be as wide as the can and will have a circle on top that could fold flat and open up again and make my can go 3D. So
That is cool. So we have some more chats coming in, Olia.
okay, tell me the chats.
Joy said, I'm doing a unicorn cupcake strawberry shortcake. Luna is,
Cupcake, strawberry shortcake. Oh my God, but what colors and flavors are for the unicorn? What do unicorns like to eat?
I know unicorns like flowers. Can we put flowers on our cakes?
Absolutely. We can do like Andy Warhol did. He had one cake recipe that had roses. So I'm
Oh, Anne's
actually,
doing a peach cake.
maybe I'll do roses all over one layers of the cake. And that could be a good idea for the unicorn cakes. And these roses are not, they're roses. made-
Luna, if you don't have cardstock, you can always take regular paper and support it with boxes like from cereal or packaging. Ooh, peach cake, rainbow cake, blue cake. Lots
Blue
of
cake,
ideas
that's
coming
so
in.
cool. Blue cake can have blueberries on it. And maybe whipped cream to create white puffs. That could be so cool. So you can also write on your card and tell us what you made. But basically, the idea with the can there would be like this.
Well, more ideas are coming in. Magic cake from Liam. And
Okay.
Claire and Scott are doing chocolate and strawberries.
Amazing.
I'm getting hungry.
All right, well, everybody, you should write down the recipes or at least like how to assemble the cake, instructions in your card, or just ingredients and things it has. So
Alina
show you.
answered. She said she has a unicorn flavor in an ice cream shop near me and it's blue.
Oh, amazing. So you'd be like blue scoops of ice cream all over that cake. And that's the unicorn flavor.
And someone has mint leaf chocolate chip, ice cream cone cake, and lots of chocolate.
Nice. It'd be fun to decorate the cake with leaves.
And Sohail did a neon cake.
Neon. Wow. Well, mine has neon lemons, I guess.
A cotton candy cake.
I love it. I love all of these ideas and I want to make cakes all day. And I feel like almost like showing pop-up can is a little bit boring because there's just so much construction and mechanics. But it's quite possible. And there's instructions online that maybe tomorrow I'll share in the chat. So
Here's
you can
mine.
do it. So Janine.
Coming along.
Janine also made a cake. I have to find it. That's quite different and much simpler and is so lovely. Because what does it have on top?
Can you show the other way? Yeah.
It has a beautiful apple with leaves on top and I love it. And it's got really beautiful blue icing and then strawberries and then more strawberries we need to decorate. So this cake was made in a very similar way, but it was actually, maybe I can show the secret of how it was made.
Oh my God. Okay. Couple more chats. Grace made a pastel rainbow cake.
Oh.
And Chanel wants to know if she can do different foods in a book.
Absolutely. You can make a recipe book because remember, if you remember, today we looked at Andy Warhol's Wild Raspberries book and it had recipes for meats, for lobster salad. They had recipes and we saw one that was for an omelet, but it looked like a big tall cone and it was really fancy.
Wow. Oh, Zoe did a fruit explosion.
You can call this cake a fruit explosion too.
Yeah.
Really, it's like when you open it, like all these fruits come into your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great expression. So we have about
pop up cake explosion, everybody.
So we have a few minutes left. I guess, Ole, you want to show us how the label sits on the mechanics?
Yeah. So in the mechanics, I'll take it all apart and show you the idea. I glued it, but I'm gonna take apart my glue and show you the secret. So this is the secret inside that Andy Warhol book with the tomato paste can. Basically, there is just a card and you need to make a circle that's about fits inside the can. So the way I've done it is outline the circle and then inside drew a smaller circle. So you can use a can or you can measure it. It's about 2.5 inches in diameter. So I have the circle, and then what I've done is I've created a strip. It's kind of interesting what it was.
Lemon cake with strawberries and chocolate icing.
So
And hazel.
inside I wanted to make a rectangle, and rectangle was half of the tall, how much tall the can is, which is 4 inches. Then there was half a circle, then more can, and half a circle, and then a tab to glue. And so each time I had the height of a can, which is 4 inches right there. Then I fold it, then I just used my circle and measured half of it. And then more and more, and I created a rectangle that basically was as tall as the can and only half as wide. And I made 2 of them. So this is the rectangle that's there. And then I glued them right there where I want my can to stand. I glue one here, one on the other side of the fold. So I'm gonna draw where the fold is and what happened. So then I kind of glued my rectangles right there and right there. Can you see? So one here and the other one, its neighbor, and then I glued them together. So it's almost like I had one rectangle and then the other one, they were sharing one side together because I put glue right here. Then that kind of circle that I had, I folded in half and glued it down to that paper. I'll show you this one. So you can see the 2 rectangles. And the thing is, like with recipe, I had to measure how tall to make it so it wouldn't stick out from my can. And in terms of that kind of measuring half a circle is so that the circle would fit on top perfectly. And this is the mechanism, the way it folds without the can. And then whatever label I made, when I taped it together, I put on top. So that was the whole trick. Some stronger paper to create a really funny bridge and a circle folded in half and glued to those rectangles.
That's fantastic, Olia.
And I'd say, you know what, we don't get to do like step by step how to measure part, but file that idea because you can figure out how to make a pop-up cylinder and make this later. But it's such a cool idea. I just wanted to show you the secret from that Andy Warhol book. Like, how did he do it? This is what he did.
Thank you for showing us. That's cool.
And it's my Pandan jelly.
Well, now that all our little artists know all these little pop-up tricks, I hope that they continue to make some things on their own as well.
Yeah, and as somebody today said, you can make an entire book with other food. Like I can have a page in my book that has a can.
We might have to wrap up soon.
All right, so do you want to remind people what to have for tomorrow?
Sure. Tomorrow it's all about making volume with lines and planes. So we're going to show you some other cool tricks, how to go 3D using paper and pipe cleaners, and our inspiration will be food again.
Yeah, so if you have
My fridge.
pipe cleaners, we're gonna try and use them a lot tomorrow, but also there's an option to just draw a lot as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to show us some cool drawing tricks.
Yeah, so have paper, have tape or glue. Tape is better for tomorrow. And have pipe cleaners. We do really want that if you can get them.
Wow, Simone said that was the best lesson ever. Thank you so much.
Thanks for saying that, Simone, and loved having all of you with us today.
And Arabella and Sadie Sloat says thank you. Well, thank you everyone for joining us as well. It was really fun. Don't forget to share your artwork using hashtag SummerPopAGO and visit the link in the chat for weekly Herschel art challenges and a chance to win a Herschel prize pack. This program is generously sponsored by Herschel, the Mariano Elia Foundation, Janice Rotman, and Upper Canada College. Thank you, everyone. It was really fun. I hope you made cool stuff. See you next time.